Hey everyone, and welcome to this new speed build in The Sims 4, and today I'm renovating the Drakehole dorm, which is found in Britechester. And this is actually the empty dorm that you have, because you have also the Wyvern dorm where you can find Julia and Becca, who are the two Sims that you can also see in the university, or actually the Discover University trailers of The Sims 4. So a couple days ago, I renovated the empty dorms that is in Foxbury Institute, and I'm actually using this dorm in my LP, and I will leave a link in the description if you want to go and check this one out. And I thought that I could actually give a go to one of the empty dorms, actually the empty dorms in Britechester as well. And as I was actually building this dorm, I was thinking that I could maybe use in the future this dorm if Camille's brother, the Camille who is the sim that we are currently playing with in my Discover University LP, we could probably use her brother to go to Britechester, because Camille is right now in Foxbury, as I said. She's studying physics, and her brother is definitely more artistic than she is. She's a bit more scientific, or actually more into science, while he wants to become an actor, and you can actually have a drama degree from Britechester. And as I was building this lot, or actually renovating this dorm, I was thinking that maybe Jeremy could come here if everything goes well with my Discover University LP with Camille for now, so we'll see what happens in the future. But in any case, I wanted to have the option of having a dorm here in Britechester that I had renovated in case I wanted to do a let's play in it. So unlike what I did with the Title Tower, I did not decide to add an upstairs here. I actually saw many renovations of this dorm and the Wyvern Hall as well, and I've seen many people adding an upstairs, and I tried the first time to renovate this place, and I tried to add an upstairs, but I found myself having too much space in the dorm, and I did not really know what to do with this empty space. So rather than adding an upstairs, I decided to work with only the floor, the main level, the one-story level that we have here. And I also tried to add 5 bedrooms, but in the end I only managed to add 4 bedrooms, and you only have 8 beds, just like in my Title Tower renovation. Because I'm not playing on a gaming computer, and my computer tends to lag a lot when there are many Sims on a lot, and I was actually thinking as I was renovating the Title Tower that my game was going to be very laggy because of the roommate system, but it actually doesn't really lag that much. So I thought that with this dorm I could actually add more beds, but because I'm only building on one level, I did not manage to add 10 beds. I tried to add 9 beds. I thought that in one room I could fit 2 beds, but in the end there are only 8 beds, but I think it's good enough. Also, when it came to the furnishing of this place, for some reason I really struggled, because I had in mind that the Britechester University has a millennium of history. So I really imagined the building being very old, which is why I used a lot of items that are very dark, except for, or actually, even in the cafeteria, the tables that I will eventually use are very dark. So I wanted to imagine that this dorm was very old and that the furnishings also was very old. So you had a lot of old paintings, a lot of decorative items that were very old, but I actually don't really like decorating too much my builds, because as I said, my computer is not a gaming computer, and if there is too much to load on a lot, my computer tends to lag a lot, so I did not want to add too much, but at least a little bit. So I really struggled when it came to decorating this place. So I added a few paintings here and there, but in the end it's actually quite basic and bare. But at least, you know, you guys, if you want to download this build on the gallery, by the way, you will have all of the information to do so in the description. You can decorate it yourself, though you will see that I've put a lot of items that reflect the school spirit of Britechester, because once again this university is very old, and I really thought that the students here had a very strong school spirit. And if you read the history of Britechester and Foxbury, you see that Britechester has a millennium of history, while Foxbury only has, I think, 50 years. So I think the school spirit of Britechester is way stronger than the one in Foxbury, because Foxbury is so young and so new. So that's why I added so many items that show this school spirit. So also what I really wanted to add in this dorm renovation was, of course, a cafeteria that I'm almost done with now. Also a study room and a lounge area, kind of common room where the students could have fun together. And I ended up adding also a ping pong table, just like I did in my Tidal Tower renovation. And I used the one that reflects the Britechester spirit once again. And also because the Britechester University is a lot more artistic than the Foxbury one, I thought using instruments in this build. I thought putting a piano, a guitar, and a violin, but in the end I changed my mind because I started thinking that maybe the roommates that you would be living with would be picking up these instruments without having any skills for them, and they would have made a lot of noises, very annoying noises. So in the end, I just put some easels because these are very silent instruments of arts that you can use. So there you go. I didn't put any instruments in here, but if you want to, you can easily add some instruments in this place. Also, as I was editing the video, I realized that I forgot to put a podium in this build, where I'm going to be putting the easels, and you will see that as we go on in the speed build. This is where I thought that I could actually put the podiums, but as I was building the place, I actually forgot. I was really focused on the arts, the art system that you have here in Britechester, the art spirit that you have here. So I actually forgot to put the podiums, but because in Britechester you have the debate organization, I feel like debating is more easily done here in Britechester, because if you go to the Commons, you actually have the debate podium. And because you also have this organization, and if you want to go to the events, you can actually debate with them. So I don't think this is a big deal that I forgot to put the debate podium in this build. And so here I'm actually working on the study room, which is quite small, but I really like it. I think it's very cozy. And I've also only placed one computer in on this build, because I once again was imagining that the students would be bringing their own computers, but there is this computer just in case one of the students doesn't have a computer. And also, as I was furnishing this study area, I was imagining the library that you can see in Hogwarts, because those lamps that you have in the middle of the tables, you can see those as you are watching the movie Harry Potter. And also I was thinking about the Dead Poets Society movie, because if you haven't seen this movie, I think it is set in the 50s, maybe the 40s or the 50s, and you follow a group of young boys as they are starting their new school year in a quite elitist school, and it's a very old school as well, and you have those walls and you have those old furniture. And as I was furnishing this study area, I was thinking about this movie for some reason. And also, as I was furnishing the landing area where you have the elevator, for some reason I was thinking about Gossip Girl, and especially the house or the penthouse in which Blair Waldorf lives. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with the fact that I was watching the video that Claire Siobhan did recently, where she was remaking the characters of Gossip Girl, and as I was watching her video, she was remaking Blair Waldorf, so I think it has something to do with it, but I don't know why. I was just thinking about Blair Waldorf. So there you go. Also, when it comes to the bedrooms in this place, they are very basics. As I said, I really struggled when it came to decorating this place, because I wanted to add a lot of old paintings, and I don't know, I really struggle overall when it comes to decorating places, and I wanted to add a bit more clutter to the bedrooms, but I didn't know what kind of students would be in there, because you can actually do so many types of Sims that I didn't really know how I could clutter the bedrooms. So I actually thought about the different distinguished degree that you can get from Britechester, and because you can get an art history, a drama, a fine arts, and so on and so forth, different distinguished degrees in Britechester, I thought that I could maybe personalize the bedrooms depending on the degrees, but in the end, I just didn't know what to do, and I found myself stuck when it came to furnishing those bedrooms, especially with the clutters and the decorations. So in the end, the bedrooms are actually once again very basics, but I think it's better when you allow a build to have the bedrooms being very basics, especially with the dorms, so that you can furnish them more easily for your Sims. And since when you have your Sims move into a dorm, you cannot technically go into build mode except if you enter the cheat bb.enabled free build, I think it's easier for you to furnish or actually to decorate your bedrooms if they are not too heavily decorated. So I'm really sorry that I did not manage to clutter the bedrooms too much, but once again, because my computer is not a gaming computer, it would have lagged anyway. So I don't know. I feel bad, but on the other hand, I don't really feel that bad about it. But anyway, also what you can see in this build is that I've used a lot of greens, because something that I did with my Untitled Tower renovation of the dorm in Foxbury, I added a lot of reds and yellows because these are the main colors of the banner of Foxbury. And because, as you can guess, Britechester is green and yellow, I wanted to add a lot of greens in here. Though for the yellows, I didn't add bright yellow in this build, I added more browns, because for me brown looks really old, and because this university is very old, I wanted to show this spirit, this school spirit through the greens that you can find everywhere in this dorm, but also with the brown that shows how old this university is. And so here I'm working on the green bedroom, and I actually tried not to go with the same theme as I went for my Untitled Tower renovation, because in that renovation of the Foxbury dorm, I went for color themes for the bedroom. So you had the blue, the green, the yellow, and the red room. But here, I try not to do the same thing, though you have this green bedroom, but you also have a purple bedroom. The other two bedrooms are a bit more mismatched. And there is actually, the room next door to this one has a bed that is highly Britechester-like. You know, they have the Britechester cover. I was really thinking that the sim who was sleeping in this bed was really into Britechester and had this very strong school spirit for Britechester and was so proud of being a part of this university. And also, as you may have seen, I've put a sculpture of Cordelia, because in the story of Britechester, Cordelia actually designed some of the, or most of the buildings here in Britechester, so I thought that it could be cool to have a sculpture in her honor, just to show our respect to Cordelia, who highly inspired a Britechester. And yeah, so once again, putting a lot of greens everywhere. Those curtains, of course, are very green and looks very old. And this corridor, I really like it. And once again, for some reason, as I was furnishing it, I was thinking about American Pie, and I don't know why. Why was I thinking about American Pie as I was furnishing this corridor? I don't know why, but there you go. And I really like actually how this corridor is, because you need to go in there to access two bedrooms. And I don't know, I really like how it kind of go around the dorm. Also, as a side note, this is actually the second time that I'm recording this voiceover, because I recorded it the first time and I did the entire video and I was so proud of what I had done. But then as I went to edit the audio, I realized that I actually did not record my voice and I was so frustrated. So I don't know if I repeated myself too many times. I don't know what I've already talked about or not. But anyway, so here I'm placing the easels, which is also where I thought I would put the debate podium. And as I said also, I thought that I could place a guitar and violin. You actually might see me try to place those around the easels, because I thought that those instruments would be great around the more living area of the dorm, since, you know, it's more fun for the Sims to play music together. And it would make the room that is just next to the living room and to the bathrooms just the worst room to sleep in. And I think I'm going to be working on this room pretty soon, but you can see it's empty right now. But this room is going to be what I would like to call the pastel room, because the colors in this room are going to be quite light and pastel-y looking. And yes, I'm going to be working on this room right now. So this room, I think, realistically speaking, would be the worst room to sleep in, because on one side you have the living area and on the other side you have the bathrooms. And so you would have the stereo, the Sims talking, the people playing ping pong together, the TV turned on maybe sometimes. And just imagine if there had been these instruments, you would have had the violin, the piano, and the guitar, maybe sometimes all playing at the same time. And on the other side you would have the toilets and the showers, and who knows what can happen in the bathrooms in a dorm. So I think this room, once again, realistically speaking, would have been the worst one to sleep in. But the colors in this room are very pretty and very cute, and I think this room is the less strict of all when it comes to the colors because of how pastel-y they are and how sweet they are. And here I'm going to be moving on to the last two bedrooms. So the room that I'm going to be working on right now is going to be once again a mixed matched bedroom. And here you have the bed that I was talking about, which is for the sim that I think is very into the school spirit and he is very proud of being a part of Britechester, because you have this cover that is very Britechester-like. And when it came to the colors for the furnishings, and especially the dresser, the desk, and the chairs, I didn't really know which colors to go with, because I didn't want to use too many times the green chairs. Of course, with the bed cover that is Britechester-like, it would have been better maybe to use the green chair, but because I used them already in the green room, I don't know, I didn't want to use them again, so instead I used this kind of pastel-y blue-green color for the chair, and I actually really like this color. And so then I will be moving on to this bedroom, which is going to be the purple bedroom, and here I thought maybe placing 3 beds. I think it could have had 3 beds in here, but because I want to use a desk and a dresser for each bed, and technically for each Sims, it actually made things very difficult for me to furnish this room, and I don't think actually there would have been enough place to put everything I wanted to put. But if I ever play with Jeremy, I think I would put him into this room, because first of all, it's in this corridor that I really like, that made me think of American Pie for some reason, and also this is the only room that has a mirror, and since Jeremy is very into acting, and the best way to work on your acting skill is by practicing acting in front of the mirror, I think I would be putting him into this room. Hopefully, if we play with him, he'll be able to choose this bed, because I don't want to cheat. I mean, technically it's not cheating, you can assign the bed to whoever you want, but I like having the roommates choose their own beds, and then my sim has to adapt to which bed has been chosen already or not. So yeah, so there you go, this is my renovation of the Drake Hall dorm in Britechester. Once again, if you want to download it on the gallery, you will find all of the information in the description. And I'm going to leave you here, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you in the next one.